All right, we are now live on YouTube. Where's the Rumble thing? Start streaming on Rumble. Let's get this music going. Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is what happened. It was about what happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for important and interesting happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you do not know you have. The sources of our information come from the website onthisday.com and the smart device application's historical calendar and Today in History. For links to these sources and anything else potentially interesting, please check the underbar of the description below, and all links gathered throughout the show will appear post live stream as per usual. Anyway, I am Xander, and who am I joined by today?
A King's Refuge.
Unpredictable.
Yep. And hopefully we'll be joined by the Golden Loon here sooner rather than later. And of course, you viewer, thank you so much for joining us, whether you're watching us live or at some point in the space-time continuum. It is irrelevant. Your patronage is always appreciated. Anyway, today is Saturn's Day, aka Saturday, July 6, 2024. Sir King, do you want to start us off here in the year 690?
Alright, in the year 690, Mayan ruler Palanque Kinich Ken Bahalam dedicates the Temple of the Inscriptions to Pakal, his recently deceased father and the city's greatest ruler.
Huh. Alright. Oh, and here we go.
1189, Richard Lionheart is crowned King of England upon the death of King Henry II.
We all know about Richard the Lionheart. Like, here's a little interesting tidbit of history. Like, have you ever seen the movie Robin Hood, like the Disney one with the foxes and all that crap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember at the end, like the real king came home, like, you know, the big lion guy, and that was Richard the Lionheart portrayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why Nottingham and, you know, like all of that was under dire straits, because the actual king was out fighting crusades. You know, I didn't know that until, like, you know, a couple of years ago.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man's putting in work.
Yeah, he is. And here we go, bubonic plague.
That's a true king who leads his people.
Yes. Oh man, dude, like, you know, back in the days, when leaders sent people to go and die, they went and died with them.
Yeah, they went and died with them.
Yeah, you know, like what a concept. You know, leaders actually going and being boots on the ground themselves. What do we got here in 1348?
1348, Papa Bull of Pope Clement VI issued during the Black Death, stating Jews not to blame and urging their protection.
Yep. Like, once again, you know, and this is you know, like one of the valid points that they have claim to is that you know, like, you know, the Jews are always getting, you know, the crap end of the stick, you know, time and time again. Well, they were being blamed for the Black Death, and this is one of the times where, like,
it's legitimate.
Their claims against it are actually valid, because they are not the cause of the Black Death, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, they're
fucking fleas.
Yeah, fleas and rats. And actually, what people a lot of people don't realize is the bubonic plague, the Black Death, you know, came from China. I believe specifically from Wuhan. Yeah, and the Spanish. No, seriously.
It came from actual Wuhan. I knew it came from China, but it came from actually came from Wuhan.
It's either the Black Death or the Spanish flu. Where did the bubonic plague originate? Let's see here.
Well, Central Asia.
Yeah.
Spread to Italy.
Yeah. Usual causes, yada yada. But where did it come? Cause. Okay, but we know about the cause, symptoms, diagnosis, yada yada yada.
Right there, yeah.
Oh no,
this is new shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out
history. There you go.
Okay. DNA in human teeth from Asia, Europe, dating from 2,800 to 5,000 years ago. That's way too. Okay, so we have the first recorded epidemic was from 541 to 549 A.D. Eastern Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire. Well, anyway, this is, maybe it wasn't this. Maybe it was the Spanish flu. The epidemic that happened during.
Right there. 2022 researchers presented evidence that a plague originated near Lake Issyk-Kul in Kyrgyzstan. The Mongols had cut the trade route, the Silk Road between China and Europe, which halted the spread of the Black Death from eastern Russia to western Europe.
Huh.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Yep.
So the European epidemic may have started at the siege of Kaffa.
Huh. So maybe it was the Spanish flu, because I do know that the Spanish flu also came out of China, but one of those two, the bubonic plague or the Spanish flu, came from specifically Wuhan, or what I've been made privy to from a while ago. But anyway, let's move on up here.
It's pretty wild that they found it in the teeth of humans that were like 3,000 years old or whatever they said. Right. That's insane. Thanks, old people.
Yeah.
Fucking boomers.
Hey, imagine if they came to now, they'd be like, "What happened to the plague?"
Yeah.
We lived.
And actually,
14.
Go ahead.
Now, 1483, Richard III is crowned King of England after deposing Edward V.
Deposing.
Deposing.
Well, deposing, disposing, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah. Like I was going to say, it doesn't matter that you said the wrong word. It's the same meaning. So, yeah. But moving on up here to 1484, Portuguese sea captain Diogo Cao found the mouth of the Congo River. All right.
That must have been a day.
Yeah. 1573, Cordoba, Argentina was founded by Geronimo, what a name, Geronimo, wow. Okay. Luis de Cabrera. So, Cordoba in Argentina has been around since 1573. Happy birthday. 1609, Majestia's brief. Emperor Rudolph II granted Bohemia freedom of religion. Hell yes. Major thing, freedom of religion. And
what is that first word? What the hell?
Yeah, that's the one I was struggling on. Majestia's brief.
Majesty's brief?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like a brief, like a briefing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A brief from the Majesty.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be magistrate? That's weird. What a weird word. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah. 1621, Dutch Governor General John Pieterszoon Cohen took Banda Islands. 15,000 people died. Whoa. So that's obviously a battle. So he took those islands and he killed 15,000 people in the process. But then we have a fire on the Dutch dam in 1652, which also caused the City Hall of Amsterdam to burn. Well, that's not good.
I just looked it up, and apparently it's a Dutch word that means letter of majesty.
Oh, so we were kind of right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a what's the word, the holy memo, like the Vatican. Why can't I remember? We talk about them all the time.
I mean, it's a guy in power flexing his power. That's what it is.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do we got here in 1775, Sir King?
1775, Congress issued a declaration of the causes of necessity of taking up arms, written by Thomas Jefferson and John Dickinson. It lists American grievances, but denies any intent to be independent.
Yep.
Oh.
And here we go.
Hey, yeah, this is where history starts to begin right here.
Yeah.
1776, American Declaration of Independence announced on front page of PA Evening Gazette.
Nice. So that's when the colonists were made privy to, we're now going to be declaring independence.
Oh, so it took, a couple, 3 days then?
Yes. And welcome to the show, Golden Loon. How are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing all right.
Good. How's the king?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you.
All right. All right.
Yep. And we also have Sir Predictable.
Okay.
One of the people we were talking about this earlier, while we were having coffee. He's one of the people that we found on Ascension. Wow.
Okay.
So one of the few who stuck around.
All right.
Yeah. And here we go.
Howdy.
Yeah. We got a pretty famous fort here in 1777. King?
1777, British General Burgoyne captures Fort Ticonderoga from Americans.
Yep, that is during the war proper. Fort Ticonderoga.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I've been there.
Have you?
Nice.
Yeah, I live pretty close to that. Yeah.
Oh, lucky. I want to go check that out.
That's out right on a point, right?
No, you're thinking of Sumter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's right at the bottom of the Lake Champlain.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Mm.
Yeah, like it's more inland, right? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here we go. This is this is major in economical history here. 1785.
1785, U.S. Congress unanimously resolves the name of the U.S. currency to dollar and adopts decimal coinage.
Hey, dollar
was born.
Yes.
Does dollar stand for anything else? Like my.
Well, back then it was backed by gold.
I mean the word, the word
dollar. I don't know if it's
dollar.
been used before.
Did it originate anywhere else that they're getting it from, or are they just like,
That's a good
let's
question.
call it a dollar?
Origin of the word dollar. Let's see. Oh, here we go again. Bohemia. Dollar is the name of more than 25 currencies. Okay, yada yada yada. Okay, come on, give me the origin. Give me the origin. Oh, here. January 15th, 1520, the Kingdom of Bohemia began minting coins from silver mined locally in Joachimsthal and marked on reverse with the Bohemian lion. The coins would be named Joachimsthaler after the town, becoming shortened in common usage to Thaler or Taylor. The town itself derived its name from Saint Joachim, coupled with the German word Thal, or Tal in modern spelling, means valley, the English term dale. So it's derived from that. Here we go. Spanish, dólar.
So we can thank the Bohemians?
Initially, yes.
Initially, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, I didn't, never gave it a thought where the word came from.
Yeah. Well, we have like German, Thaler or Taler, Czech, Slovak, and Slovenian Tolar, Slovak Tolier, Croatian Talier, Polish Talar, Low German Daler, Dutch Riksdaler or Daler pronounced dollar. So there we go.
And English on the bottom?
Dollar, yeah. Now I can tell you for certain though why the leader of the United States is called the president. Because when they were first, like trying to figure that out, because they could have had a king, they could have had emperor, they could have had this, they could have, but no, they specifically
didn't want a king.
Yeah, no, well, any form of that, but no, they specifically used the term president. For example, like a school board president, they wanted a humbling term. They wanted a term of somebody not in super high power. So he's the president. Okay, he's just of the people. It's an of the people title. That's where it was from.
Okay.
So everything in this nation is all about we the people in
Yeah.
order to form the more perfect union. It's all about the people. That's it used to be at least.
And we don't give enough credit to that way of thinking back in the day.
No.
Because it was not the norm.
No.
It just wasn't thought that the people would have that kind of voice.
Yeah, well, the people always have that power, but they've never been allowed to exercise it.
The government wants to change the Constitution. I think we should change the title of the president.
To what?
I don't know. Useless, maybe.
The useless in chief.
Yeah.
Well, with any hope, we'll get the Supreme Court to get us back into more what our Constitution says and really split up the powers more.
Yeah. Give the power of majority to the states once again.
Well, yeah, a lot of the power's got to go back to the states. But even in the federal government, they need to balance it better. It's supposed to be balanced better than it is now.
I think we need to worry a little bit more about the justice system on that fact. There's a lot of corruption, even state level, that needs to be fucking dealt with before we start handing people power.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not saying it's not a good thing. Like, obviously, yeah, give the small people the power, but like, we need to take care of the cronies first.
Yeah. Well, the people won't get the power until you take care of the cronies.
Yeah. Well, I would personally love to continue this conversation specifically in on Monday. Which I know the Loon's not going to be here, unfortunately, but maybe you might be predictable, like for our talk show. But as for this show, unfortunately, we got to get back.
Yeah,
to
you
history.
stay on topic.
Yeah,
I got you.
1787 here, the French government proclaimed an end to the stamp/land tax, and I don't know the specifics of that tax, but hey, an end to the tax, I'm all for it. Hell yeah, like.
A government actually ending a tax.
Yeah, that's... Wow. Yeah, what is the stamp duty and land tax? But this is... I'm not sure if this would be the... Oh, this is UK.
Oh.
This is not France. So let's see, 1787. Let's see here. Northwest Ordinance. Okay, here we go. Wait, no, that's...
No, that's the purchase.
No, that's you're thinking of the Louisiana Purchase. That's
yeah, my bad.
But no, this is U.S. So if anybody can figure out, let us know in the comment section exactly what this specific stamp land tax is. That would be swell. We're going to move on up here to 1789. During the French Revolution, the National Assembly formed a committee of 30 members to write a new constitution. That's that's almost bureaucratic right there. How are you going to come to a general consensus with 30 people? That seems almost like an impossible feat.
It's tough.
Yeah.
30 opinions.
Yeah. 1798, the U.S. law made aliens, quote, liable to be apprehended, restrained, and removed as alien enemies, end quote. We need that back. Like, desperately. And, and as someone who lives on a border state, you can take my words to the bank. Moving on up into the 1800s, we got a pretty big one here for you, King. Talking about an emperor.
1809 Battle of Wagram. After a 2-day battle, Napoleon's French and Allied army decisively defeats the Australian army under Archduke Charles, leads to the breakup of the Australian and British-led Fifth Coalition against France.
Austrian, not Australian.
Austrian.
Austrian.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where Schwarzenegger's from.
Yes. And
yeah.
Schwarzenegger is a direct descendant of a Nazi SS officer.
I'll be back. I live in California.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Screw Your Freedoms, like, what do you expect? Yeah.
That fucking guy, yeah.
Screw him. Here we go. Ooh, this one's really cool. 1853?
1853, William Wells Brown publishes Clotel, first novel by black U.S. citizen. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I got to read that. 1 year later, in 1854, we have the first Republican state convention was held in Jackson, Michigan. Not Mississippi, Michigan. So, pretty sure there is a Jackson, Mississippi.
Could be. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah. 1858, Lyman Blake patented a shoe manufacturing machine. All right.
Interesting.
Yeah. That reminds me of that one scene from Jumanji.
Oh, yeah.
Where he screwed up that shoe.
Yeah.
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 I live right next to the town where they filmed that.
Wow, really nice.
Yeah.
Is
that pretty cool. They still have the pair of shoes thing up on the wall.
Oh, nice.
So is that giant building still there?
I don't know.
I
have no idea.
1885, Louis Pasteur successfully gave an anti-rabies vaccine to 9-year-old Joseph Meister, saving his life. Yeah, that's big. Anti-rabies. Like,
Yeah.
rabies is a serious thing, even today.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
If you get bit by a potentially rabid animal, well, they have to put that animal down to study its brain to see if it did have rabies. Meanwhile, you have to get, inoculated and everything and pray, that you won't go feral.
Yeah.
What do we got here in 1885 as well?
1885, William T. Steed's The Maiden Tribute of Modern Babylon, first published, describes how he was able to buy a 13-year-old girl in the Pall Mall Gazette.
Yikes.
What?
Yeah, human trafficking, right there. He was able to buy a 13-year-old girl
Yeah.
through a magazine.
I got that.
Like,
That's
what
horrible.
the
I think it's
hell?
more by a wife than.
Well, yeah.
But it's still bad. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Like, human trafficking is one thing, but when humans are little, that's even worse. Like, somehow.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, it is.
It is, but
Wow.
yeah. Oh, here we go.
1886, Horlicks of Wisconsin offers first malted milk to public.
Malted milk. All right.
Yeah.
We all know about malted milk balls, but those were created so you can, on the go, enjoy a version of malted milk without having to have a beverage.
Yeah.
No. Ooh, in 1892, this is pretty big to me personally.
1892,
Good luck.
Dadabhai Naoroji elected the first Indian member of Parliament in Britain.
All right, representation.
Yeah.
Good stuff. 1892, striking steelworkers in Homestead, Pennsylvania, fired on scabs, killing 7. For those who do not know, scabs are people who come in and fill places that are, made vacant by people who are striking.
Yeah.
They get paid less to do the same job and all that stuff. And
Well, they may get paid more. It doesn't matter. But they're part of breaking the union.
Yeah. I am appalled at this action. Like, I get it. You don't like the scabs coming in, but that doesn't give you the right to shoot at them, and kill them, I mean, that's ridiculous.
Let me give you a personal story from back in the 60s. I was working at a market, and there was a trucker strike, so we couldn't get...
I remember this story.
couldn't get goods to the market, so they're bootlegging stuff. So we had a truck come in, and my manager had everybody in the back, and we're unloading this thing as fast as we can, unloading, just throwing it on the dock. The truck takes off and goes. And as we're
breaking everything down,
as we're organizing the dock, because it's a mess, big old Chevy pulls up, 4 doors open up, guys get out with baseball bats, look around, the truck's gone, they get back in the car and leave, and I go, holy crap, I could have gotten screwed.
Yeah, they're coming to kick some ass. That's scary. Like,
yeah.
And you're only, what, 17 or something? You were
17,
a kid.
18, yeah.
Yeah, you were a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yikes. And here we go. Something in your neck of the woods, good Sir King, 1893.
Hey, very good news, but it's Iowa news. 1893, small town of Pomeroy, Iowa, is destroyed by a tornado that kills 71 people and injures 200.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Almost got wiped off the map. Wasn't there a tornado 10 some odd years ago that virtually wiped an entire city off a map or something?
Probably.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it made national news. The entire town was just leveled. I'm
sure it's happened more than once in
of course.
in the near future.
Oh, of course. But something more specific.
Past, I should say.
Yeah. Moving on up to 1894, Cleveland sent 2,000 troops to Chicago to suppress the Pullman strike. And what was this Pullman strike? But that's not good. They're bringing in military personnel to suppress the strike. Well, why are they striking? Why can't they figure out a way to work with people? Why do they always have to suppress it and bring it down and shoot people? It's just
yeah.
So The Pullman strike was two interrelated strikes in 1894 that shaped national labor policy in the United States during a period of deep economic depression. First came a strike by the American Railway Union against the Pullman factory in Chicago in the spring of 1894. When that failed, the ARU launched a national boycott against all trains that carried Pullman passenger cars. The nationwide railroad boycott that lasted from May 11th to July 20th, 1894, was a turning point for U.S. labor law. It pitted that the American Railway Union, ARU, against the Pullman Company, the main railroads, the main labor unions, and the federal government of the United States under President Grover Cleveland. The strike and boycott shut down much of the nation's freight and passenger traffic west of Detroit, Michigan. Well, wow, that was a big one. So,
yeah,
so it's unsurprising that they would bring in, troops to suppress it, but it's wrong. Instead of suppressing, we should figure out, okay, what are their grievances? How valid are they? And let's figure out a way to work together. Oh, no, let's just send troops over there and shoot them all until they bend a knee. Yeah, because that's not fascist at all, huh? No.
I'm going to cut you there. Well, I got some tornado history for you. The one you might be thinking about is in 2007, a tornado destroyed 95% of Greensburg, Kansas.
I think
And
that's the one I was thinking.
it only led to a death toll of 11.
Yeah.
The town has since been rebuilt for greener living.
Yeah,
And in 1953, Manchester, South Dakota was just entirely destroyed by a tornado and never rebuilt.
Oh, dang. So, wow. Never came back. That's not good. 1898, the U.S. Senate agreed to annex Hawaii. And I've made comments, here and there on the show about the deplorable things that we did to ascertain that is as a territory, as a protectorate, as a state, horrible things. Moving on up into the next century, 1903, George Wyman arrived in New York City by motorcycle 51 days out of San Francisco. So he rode a motorcycle
cross country.
Yeah, San Fran to New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what do we got here in 1904, good Sir King?
In 1904, two Russian cruisers moved into the Red Sea and began to stop ships of Britain, Germany, and other nations they believed friendly to Japan.
Yeah, so I think Japan really wasn't in World War I, but they had some involvement to some degree. And I know that Russia and Japan, have always been at each other's throats.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they have disputed islands and everything else that they think goes back centuries.
Yeah. But we missed over one here, nominee.
Tom Rees takes 5 weeks to complete the highest recorded billiards break in a match. 499,135 in London. His Cradle Canyon method is soon banned.
So wow. So I wonder if David Rush is going to go after that record.
Billiards break match.
Yeah. Moving on up into 1912, the 5th Summer Modern Olympic Games officially opened in Stockholm, Sweden. Events conducted prior to the ceremony were dated back to May 5th. So, a lot of build-up for it, it sounds like.
Yeah, well, that's the beginning of the modern games.
Yeah. 1916, the second of 4 fatal Jersey shark attacks occurred at Spring Lake when Charles Birder, at the age of 27, bled to death 5 days after the first. Yeah, we spoke about that 5 days ago,
Yeah.
Like those shark attacks and everything.
That's Cradle Canyon shot too.
1917, T.E. Lawrence captured port of Aqaba from Turks. Lawrence of Arabia. Major role in World War One. If it wasn't for his actions, I'm not, the war might have lasted longer. The outcome could have been slightly different and all that stuff. I'm not sure, but he, with his, group of mercenaries and all that stuff, they all essentially single-handedly brought down the Ottoman Empire by continuously doing guerrilla and what would be called terrorist attacks, by definition, blowing up their railway lines, that went into the Sahara, way out, in no man's land, like.
Where was Aqaba?
Aqaba? Let's see here.
What would it be today?
Because
I'm totally unfamiliar with it.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it sounds an awful lot like Agrabah from Aladdin. Aqaba. Okay, it's all the way down here in Jordan.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. Here's Israel over here. It looks like.
Well, it will be.
Well, yeah. Well, it would become Israel. Used to be Palestine.
Yeah.
No, and it should be still, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay, no, I'm just curious where it was. Okay.
Yeah. All right. 1919, British R-34 landed in New York, the first airship to cross the Atlantic. It took 108 hours. All right. What did this airship look like? British R-34 images. Let's see here. Okay, so it's just a blimp. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's an airship. But yeah, the first one to cross the Atlantic. Cool. What do we got here?
It must have been a frightening experience.
Oh yeah.
Man.
People say that airships are smooth and stuff, but I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'd like to fly in an airship. We spoke about, though, like the Pizza Hut airship deflated and landed safely in Manhattan or whatever.
Yeah. But then there's that one, the tourist one that burned up on landing from Germany.
Why can't I remember it?
Is that one or something?
Yeah. Why can't I remember it?
It's right on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, the Hindenburg.
Yeah.
Hindenburg.
Yep. Yeah, that was a nail in the coffin that ended that entire industry. But that's only because
the humanity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing: the reason why the Hindenburg was using hydrogen and not helium was because the U.S. was, like, if not the only one, it was the primary source of helium for the entire world.
That makes sense.
We would not export it, so we forced Germany to use a more flammable gas, and that's what caused it. Airships would still be used today, if that hadn't happened, if we had given them the proper gas to use. But so the Hindenburg happened because of U.S. greed, plain and simple. So
isn't there isn't there like a global helium shortage too right now?
I think there is.
Running pretty low on helium.
Yeah, I've been hearing things, off and on over the past.
I've been hearing that for like the last 5-10 years, though.
Yeah, same here. Like, I've been hearing a bunch of stuff about helium things, especially when there's the helium shortage. Like, we might, children's birthday parties might not have balloons this year. Stuff like that. Like,
so we can't suck helium to get a funny voice anymore. Is that it?
Yeah, they're taking away that fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, who cares if it
Fun
causes
police.
permanent brain damage? Like, we want to talk about skinny voice.
Yeah.
But what do we got here in 1919? I have a feeling some ulterior motives were behind this. So.
1919, Institute for Sexual Science opened in Berlin by physician Magnus Hirschfeld to establish study of sexual science.
And you know what? I'm not going to correlate anything here, but I'm just going to say it's rather fitting for someone who, Magnus Hirschfeld, who is a physician and a gay rights advocate, to open up something involving sexual science. I mean, what is it with, with people in certain communities trying to, do things with certain, topics? Like, kind of strange.
Trying to learn more, I guess.
Well, I'm not going to say fully what's on my mind, but I mean,
please don't.
This is just a slippery slope to a certain something queen story hour for children, So, anyway, what do we got here in 1920?
1920, New York Yankees scored MLB record 14 runs in fifth inning of 17-0 rout of Washington Senators.
That is beyond a curb stomping right there. 17-0. Like,
yeah.
wow.
You wonder why that's in
It's
there.
bragging rights.
Well, no, I
Right
put
there.
that in there
Oh.
because it was one team scored 17 points, the other team didn't score any.
Yeah.
That's
No,
they got
that's
their
it.
asses handed to them.
Yeah.
And here we go, big news, 1923.
1923, the Central Executive Committee accepts the Treaty of Union signed by Moscow in December 1922, and the Russian Empire becomes the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics.
So, calendar dates, you're not the same year, obviously, but calendar date 2 years after, not 2 years, but 2 days.
2 days, yeah.
After, Independence Day for the United States.
Yeah.
One of the greatest enemies in our history was formed, the USSR.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about one of the greatest inventions of the USSR here in a little bit. But first,
look at those signatures. My God.
Yeah.
It's like they started trying and then they just like gave up halfway through. It was like, make your mark.
Well,
Yeah.
I think they are all role playing as doctors.
Yeah.
Scribble, scribble, scribble. Here's your prescription. I can't read that. 1 year later, 1924, we have the first photo sent experimentally across Atlantic by radio, U.S. to England, using radio to send pictures. 1924.
Yeah.
I would argue that's the precursor to television.
Yes, of course.
So 1928. Well, speaking of television and motion pictures and all that stuff, we have the first all talking motion picture shown in New York, Lights of New York. So the first talkie, as they used to call them.
Yeah.
They used to call them the moving picture shows, and then they had the first talkies.
Yeah, they were called talkies.
Yep. And a tidbit of information that a former friend of mine, Alice, told me, and it makes completely sense. So I'm going to accept it as truth. Is that back in the day, like when they had the piano players playing during the motion pictures.
Yep.
No two movies were ever the same as far as audio wise, because they didn't have a script, they didn't have sheet music to play. It was up to the pianist to play what they felt was on the screen. So you can go to one movie one day and then you can go see the exact same movie another day, but the entire environment can be different because it will be different because the music will be different.
Yeah, something gets dangerous. Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Or dun 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 dun.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Whatever they felt, it was their
interpretation.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. I never thought of that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And now it's gone the other way, and all these concerts are showing these giant television screens of crazy videos and effects and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, they perfected the algorithm and figured out, this tempo causes this reaction. If we add in this beat, at this volume, it causes this, and they have
and this pattern on the screen with this color.
Yeah.
And and that makes me wonder, we are artificially changing. We are as a species, all across the spectrum, but specifically in this, because what works, as an algorithm today will not work as an algorithm tomorrow, and how much of this artificial stuff that we're putting in is changing, how we would react to things. If like something yesterday that sparked, major
it's like being
emotion.
desensitized.
Yeah, desensitized. Thank you. Exactly. We got a 1928, another one here for you, good king, and this is crazy.
1928, first all-talkie motion picture shown in New York.
The one after
movie,
that.
Lights of New York.
Yeah, the one after that.
1928, largest recorded hailstone at time, 1.5 pounds,
Whoa.
7 inches in diameter.
Whoa.
Falls in Potter, Nebraska.
At the
Fails.
time.
Falls.
Yeah. Plummets.
That can kill you.
Well, yeah. 1.5 pounds terminal velocity.
Oh, yeah.
That'll split me in half like a hot dog bun, man.
Yeah, that's a real rod from God right there.
Yeah.
Right?
I
God was
got
blowing
caught
that
in a
day.
hailstorm in New Mexico once, where they're maybe the size of a golf ball, maybe smaller. They hurt so bad, I had to dive under a car. Not
Yeah.
a parked car, obviously.
Well, yeah.
But,
I mean, a moving car wouldn't
but
provide
man,
much
it
cover.
hurt. You just had to get into cover anywhere, anytime, as quick as you could.
Yeah. That's scary.
Yeah, it hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah. Here we go. Some baseball history here.
1929 St. Louis Cardinals set MLB run record with 28 runs and 28 hits, 28-6 versus the Philadelphia Phillies.
28 runs on 28 hits. That sounds pretty remarkable right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and oh, here we go.
1932 first class postage back up to 3 cents from 2 cents.
Back up, though.
Back up.
That's what's kind of weird.
No, see, yeah, no,
Nothing goes
Yeah,
back
We went through
anymore.
this a couple of days ago. They lowered the price by a cent, right?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. So they went back up. So we were talking a couple days ago. I don't think you were here, Loon. But yeah, they reduced the price. It went down, and that was very weird.
It is weird.
Yeah. Do you want to take this Cubs one here? Sports.
1932 Cubbies future Hall star shortstop Billy Jurgis is shot twice in Chicago hotel room by a spurned girlfriend, Violet Popovich. Valley, no charges laid. What?
What the
No
hell?
charges.
What a simp! What a complete simp! I mean, I thought cuckery was a modern invention, but apparently not. How could you not charge someone who shot you twice? What the hell is wrong with you? She's trying to kill your ass, and you're not going to put her in jail? Freaking wow!
He probably thought he deserved it.
Yeah.
Wow, well, major cuck right there. Oh. 1933, Nursery Rhymes, a short film starring Ted Healy and his Stooges premieres. One of the first film appearance of the Three Stooges.
Oh.
Hey.
Nice.
And were they Joe, Mo, and Curly or whatever?
Curly Joe, yeah.
Curly Joe.
Larry, Moe, and Curly Joe.
Thank you. Yeah. And Mo Howard, is he even still alive?
No.
Oh no.
No.
Wow, 75. Okay. Wow. That looks like a very modern picture, though. It doesn't look that old. Oh. Huh. But wow. Moving on up to 1934, American doubles specialist Elizabeth Ryan won her 12th Wimbledon title at the same... as she and Simon Matthew of France defended their crowns 63-63 for Dorothy Andrus and Sylvie Henrotin. And I put these in because you know me. If anybody knows me, I don't really care about sports.
Right.
I mean, everything has their place, but I'm not putting these in here because it's Wimbledon. I'm putting in here because she got 12 titles.
That's what struck me when you read it.
Yeah. Because whenever there's a sports thing, it's not being put in there because it's sports. It's being put in there because there's something substantial in there. So
something exceptional.
Yeah. And we have 1936 and some more state records here. We have 114 degrees Fahrenheit or 46 degrees Celsius in Moorhead, Minnesota state record. And in Steele, North Dakota, their state record was 121 in 1936 as well. That is hot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah. 1936 as well, a major breach of the Manchester, Bolton, and Bury Canal in England sent millions of gallons of water cascading 200 feet into the River Irwell.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And 1939, German Nazis closed the last Jewish enterprises. And by that means by law, the Jews were not allowed to own any types of businesses. They were not allowed to be business owners at all. And then soon would come, their right to not have this, their right to not have that. Just...
Oh, yeah.
And, what's going on, in today's world, against certain people? People of certain political ideologies, people of certain tones, people of certain, what bathroom they use, so. Ghostery, welcome to the show. How you doing? Giving her a second to unmute her mic.
Yep, sorry. I've remembered that.
Can you stop apologizing? Good God, lady. I swear to jeez. Like 90% of your words is you're apologizing. Stop apologizing. How are you doing today?
apologize to furniture if I walk into it. So it's normal for me.
My God, she's more Canadian than you, Loon. She apologizes if she walks into furniture. That's what she said. That's what she,
I got it.
That is, where were you born, Costa Rica? Like, were you born in Canada? Like, seriously, are you a Canadian? Like,
Almost.
Oh, well, okay. Well, now it makes sense. But what do we got here in 1941, King?
1941, New York Yankees team unveils a monument to former Captain Lou Gehrig in center field at Yankee Stadium. The future Hall of Famer died the previous month.
Well, rest in peace, Lou Gehrig. He was the luckiest man on earth.
Yeah.
Oh, and here we go, 1942. Dark days.
In 1942, Anne Frank's family goes into hiding in After House, Amsterdam.
Yep. Anne Frank. We've spoken about, like when she got her diary, when she first started using it, and all that stuff. That's a book I still need to read, but like, I don't know, like, I don't think I'll ever read it just because I respect boundaries, and I will never read anybody's diary. Like that's her diary.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. As a historian, I'm obligated to do so, but as someone with ethics, I can't bring myself to do it. Like that's her personal thing. So, but we got some more Battle of Kursk here for you.
1943, Second Battle of Kursk, USSR, Operation Citadel, 25,000 Germans killed.
Yeah.
25,000
in one day.
Jeez.
So, yeah, second day of the Battle of Kursk. Like we were talking about this yesterday, the largest tank battle in all history.
Yeah.
What was it like?
I forgot. It was thousands.
Thousands, like tens of thousands of tanks.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even realize that there were that many tanks ever.
One side had three. The Russians had 7.
Yeah. The Russians had like 7.
Had 3.
Yeah, 1,000.
Yeah.
So a total of like 10,000 some odd tanks between both sides. Yeah. In 1944. You got 2 of them.
1944, U.S. General George S. Patton lands in France.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Patton really did get a bum deal, but at the same time, he did play a vital role in the Normandy invasion by being the figurehead of the fictitious army to fool Rommel and Hitler.
Yeah.
To think that they were going to come in through the Pas de Calais.
Yeah.
So
Russia couldn't believe that he
Germany
wouldn't lead the best general they have.
Yeah.
Couldn't imagine they wouldn't use him.
Yeah. But, they did use... Bradley was the guy who was in charge of the U.S. part. Yeah. And Eisenhower, of course, was the guy, the Allied commander of the whole thing.
Yeah.
He was, he was, a U.S. general.
He was the Allied commander.
Yeah. But he was the whole thing, so not just the U.S., but Britain,
That's
France,
all the Allies.
All of them. Yeah. Canada, Australia, whoever else was, part of the Allies. Eventually, Italy, they flip sides. So, here we go, a disaster.
1944, world's largest circus tent that catches fire at Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey's second performance. 168 die. Oh, Hartford, Connecticut.
Yikes.
You're at the wrong place in the browser, I think.
Yeah, I do. Sorry. I have 2 things, 2 scripts here. I'm trying to keep it here. Yeah. Thank you. Moving on to 1945, Abbott and Costello's film The Naughty 90s released features longest version of their Who's on First routine.
Who's on? Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. 1945 as well, Nicaragua became the first nation to ratify the Charter of the United Nations. Nicaragua, of all places. The first one.
Yeah.
Huh. Such a not thought about, country in world history or anything. Who even knows about Nicaragua's existence? I don't even know where they're located. Oh, they're in Central America.
Of course.
I thought they were an African nation.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God. Well, see, I'm a living example of what I just said.
Right there by Panama.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Panama. We also have U.S. President Harry Truman signed executive order establishing the Medal of Freedom. Oh, yeah, so I think that's a civilian medal. That's like
He's
the highest.
the last president that I have no memory of.
Huh.
Everyone else I have a memory of from there on.
Yeah, you were alive by this point.
Well, alive, but not a memory of them.
But you were only, what, 6 months old?
Whatever, yeah.
Well, yeah, you were born in February of 45.
A year or two old, yeah.
Wait, no, you were 45 or 46? 46.
46,
So
yeah.
you weren't alive.
Not
This
then,
is
but he
45.
was still president while I was born.
Okay. Yeah.
But I have no memory of.
Who was president in 87?
Oh God, I'd have to. I don't know.
The look on your face.
I have to chronologize. I thought you were going to say who was the next one, which was Eisenhower's the first one I remember.
Yeah. Who was U.S. president in 1987? Okay, well, I'm going to have to click this.
Clinton or something?
No, Clinton came after. Let's see here.
Ronald Reagan, maybe?
I think you're
could've
right.
Yeah, it could have been.
Ronald Reagan was president in 1985, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
So let's see, 97, 89. Hey, you're right, Reagan. Good pull.
Good pull.
Yeah.
Hey, he spoke at my high school graduation, believe it or not, before he was governor of California.
He was on his road to becoming governor.
He's laying the groundwork to go for it.
Yeah.
We didn't know that then.
Then George Herbert Walker Bush, and then Bill Clinton. I remember Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then, of course, everybody else after that, George W., Obama, Trump, and Brandon. Anyway, we also have in 1945, Washington Senator Rick Farrell caught a record 1,722 games. And we're talking about not a politician, a baseball player, of the Senators. That's their baseball team in Washington, D.C., the Senators.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's not like, a person in the Senate, caught all that. No, it's a baseball player. Yeah. That's a lot of games.
Yeah.
So, consecutive or it's non-consecutive? It doesn't say either way.
Well, I think it's games that he caught in his career, not necessarily consecutive. But especially for a catcher, that's just physically draining.
Oh yeah.
Compared to any other position, except for maybe the pitcher.
Yeah. Don't even want to know where my mind just went. So. Slang,
I'm not asking.
Slang for pitcher and catcher?
Uh-huh. I already knew. You didn't have to explain it to me.
Yeah, well, you know me.
That's the problem.
You've known me my whole life.
I'm not proud of it.
But we got a really big one here in 1947. The AK-47 Kalashnikov went into production in the Soviet Union, and still a banger of a weapon today. Like one of the greatest, if not the greatest, weapon ever invented in the history of humanity. The AK-47.
Certainly well known.
Yeah. I mean, you can literally dunk it into a whole thing of mud. It'll still work. It doesn't jam. Like it's the perfect weapon. It's like a god weapon. Like, yeah. 1949, a freak heat wave sent central coast of Portugal to 158 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 minutes. How the hell is that even possible? 158 degrees.
I didn't think anywhere in this planet got that hot.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of Death Valley getting up to 125, maybe 130.
Yeah.
Maybe but 158 degrees, that is unheard of. I can't fathom how anything natural can go that high. On a planet at least.
Yeah, of course.
Unless it's getting hit by a meteor or the atmosphere goes away and the sun bakes onto us, but just for a little pocket like that is. And then we got
it's a bad conversion from Celsius. Somebody messed up. I don't believe it. It's Portugal's Celsius metric.
Yeah. Well, no, 158 degrees Celsius would be
3 or 4.
I know. They converted it wrong. They did the formula wrong to Fahrenheit, I'm guessing.
Oh.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
That at least makes sense.
Yeah.
They converted incorrectly.
Yeah. Whoever it was, where this source got it from. But in 1952, we have the last tram ride in London. So municipal transportation, kind of like how San Francisco has their whatever
Yeah.
So this is the last time London had a tram ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do we got here? We got some baseball in 1956.
1956, MLB Commissioner Ford Frick inaugurates Cy Young Award in honor of baseball's outstanding pitcher of the season.
All right.
Who was that again? I'm sorry.
Commissioner Ford Frick.
Okay.
What a name.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder how many people call him a fricker. You know.
Looks like a name that
had to be
originally had a
brutal when he
P
was a
in front of it.
teenager.
Oh yeah. What'd you say, Ghost?
That looks like a name that had a P in front of the F originally.
Ah. Yeah. What do we got here? You have 257s.
In 1957, Harry S. Truman Library formed in Independence, Missouri.
All right. We have the Reagan. We do have the Reagan Library out here, but we also have the Nixon Library Museum. You know, out here, all that stuff. Well, and here we go. Some Beatles history.
In 1957, John Lennon, 16, and Paul McCartney, 15, meet for the first time as Lennon's rock group, Quarrymen, performed at St. Peter's Woolton's Parish Church in Liverpool, introduced by a mutual friend, Ivan Bond.
You know, like, I haven't said this in quite a while, but people fully don't appreciate how significant everything you do in life is. You know, like everything is connected. Like, the Beatles might have never existed. The entire history, the whole world could be different if the mutual friend didn't introduce them. You know? Like, something,
you can say that
something so perceivably small is so significant. You know? Like...
Well, look at that, where they tried to assassinate Hitler, and it should have worked.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, he walked out of there.
Well, no. What happened?
You know.
Are you talking about the suitcase bomb?
Yeah.
Well, what happened was that it would have worked, but somebody actually moved the suitcase like somewhere else, and where it blew up, the table protected Hitler from the blast.
I knew that.
But
I
where
didn't know somebody moved
it, but where it was originally, it would have taken him out.
Well, that's it. The little things.
Yeah, the little things. I mean, and like that's a really good example. Another example that I use is, and this is like a very interesting coincidence in history, but a week before Lincoln got assassinated, I think it was like a younger cousin or whatever of Lincoln or whatever. I don't remember the exact semantics, but someone related to Lincoln fell into a train well, like, you know, on like, you know, the train platforms. I know they fell into that, and I think it was the brother of John Wilkes Booth pulled him out of there, saved his life. Now think about that. If he hadn't saved that life, instead of going to Ford's Theater, Lincoln could have gone to the funeral for his thing, and he wouldn't have been assassinated, and the entire world would have changed.
There you go.
One little thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, the butterfly effect, like, you know, it's wild. So, to anybody out there who thinks that you're not significant, you don't know the repercussions of your day-to-day activities, how that'll ripple throughout the rest of time. You don't know. You know? Like...
That's kind of the point, yeah.
Yeah. So take everything you do as incredibly significant, because it is. You never know.
Or take it as a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
They're both significant.
Yeah. Moving on up to 1960, Dr. Barbara Moore completed a 3,207-mile walk from Los Angeles to New York City. That's a trek.
You're not kidding.
You know? I wonder if that was the inspiration for when, you know, the running section of Forrest Gump.
Who knows?
Like, one day I just decided I wanted to go for a run. So I kept running and running. I reached an ocean, turned around and ran back, reached another one, turned around and ran back again. You know? 1961, a Portuguese ship exploded near Mozambique, killing 100, or 300. 300. Yikes. So, must have been a munition or something or whatever. That's unusual. A ship just blowing up.
Yeah.
You know? 1962, a nuclear test shot sedan, part of Operation Plowshare. Okay, I'm all sorts of confused. So first off, what is Operation Plowshare? Let's take a look at this here. The overall United States program for the development of techniques to use nuclear explosives for peaceful construction purposes. Oh,
okay.
So they blew it up to cause a huge hole. So, oh yeah, here we go. 1962 Sudan plowshares shot displaced 12 million tons of earth and created a crater 328 feet or 98 meters deep and 1,280 feet or 390 meters wide. So just seeing what we can do with nuclear explosives, like
creating the world's largest swimming pool.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to swim in that pool. You know, it would be a little radioactive.
Just a bit.
So, yeah. But what do we got here in 1964?
1964, Malawi formerly Nyasaland, declares independence from the United Kingdom.
Ah, all right. Well, happy Independence Day, you know, or declaring, you know.
All right.
It doesn't say whether or not they gained independence, but they declared it. So.
True. Well, we celebrate the day we declared it.
Yeah, but we declared it.
Work.
Yeah, you know, thanks to France and Spain, you know, so. And here we go. This is probably a band that you know of.
1965, psychedelic rock band Jefferson Airplane forms in San Francisco, California.
Yep.
Hey. I even know the name of that band. I've heard of
They're a big band.
Yeah.
1966, Malawi becomes a republic. Dr. Hastings Kamuzu Banda becomes president. All right.
Ah, all right. Cool.
So they did get it.
Oh yeah. Good poll. I completely forgot about that. Wow. I'm a bad historian. Oh. Thank you for remembering Malawi. Moving on up to 1967, the Nigerian Civil War erupted as Nigerian forces invaded the secessionist state of Biafra. Okay. So, 1968 as well, Sakharov publishes the Manifest of 10,000 Words, and we were speaking about this the other day. Couldn't figure out anything about it, and still don't know anything about it. So, you know, once again, I provide that as the challenge to our viewers. If anybody can figure out what the hell this Manifest of 10,000 Words even is, that'd be fantastic. 1969, Ned Kelly, starring Mick Jagger, began filming in and around Braidwood, New South Wales, Australia. I've heard about Ned Kelly.
Never heard of it.
So, yeah. I've heard about Machine Gun Kelly, too. So, 1970, California passed the first no-fault divorce law. What is that? What is the no-fault divorce
It means you could get divorced very easily.
Okay.
There didn't have to be a reason for the divorce. And they call it irreconcilable differences.
Of course, California would do something like that. So. And here we go. This one kind of reminds me of Ben 10 in a weird way, but do you want to tell us about 1971?
1971, White House plumbers unit formed to plug news leaks.
Ah. So.
The plumbers?
Yeah.
That's the spy deal with Nixon.
Quote unquote.
Ah. Yeah.
Plumbers with guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
And heart attack guns.
Yeah. And poison dart umbrella guns and all that stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Poison dart umbrellas.
Which is a real thing. Like,
I know it's a real thing. It's so fucking hilarious that it's true.
Yeah, like there's a successful assassination with some dart, you know, like it gives people a heart attack. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Of course,
what's interesting is like it's designed to, like, it pierces the skin, drops off its payload, and then it comes out. It doesn't, you know, it's almost impossible to find, you know, like the traces of the poison through an autopsy. You don't have, you know, the delivery device, traces, you know, like, so it's, I guess he just dropped dead from a heart attack magically, you know, this political figure. What a coincidence, you know, like, my God. Moving on up to 1975, Art Wall Jr. at 51 years, 7 months, 10 days became the second oldest to win a PGA Tour event, defeating Gary McCord by 1 at the Greater Milwaukee Open. The oldest, of course, is Sam Snead. So,
Sammy Snead, yeah.
1975, Comoros declared independence from France, most of them. So that makes me wonder, like, are the islands the Comoros Islands or?
I have no idea.
Comoros. Let's see here, images. They're shorefront. Let me find a map. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So they are islands. I thought so because it says most of them. So most of the islands declared independence. 1978, a sleeping car caught fire in Taunton, Somerset, killing 12 people. That's not good. Like,
what's a sleeping car?
That's what I was just gonna ask. What the heck is that?
It's a sleeper car for trains.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
That's a weird way to put it.
Yeah.
Sleeping car. They could say train carriage or something like.
It helped.
Well,
Yeah.
I assume it's a sleeping car. I mean, like.
No, it makes sense. Exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and here we go. 1978 as well. Israeli jet fighters swooped over mostly Muslim West Beirut. Yeah, show of force. You know, telling them what's to come. You got some more baseball here in 1980.
Yeah, 1980 MLB Philadelphia Phillies starter Steve Carlton fans 7 Cardinals to reach 2,836 strikeouts, the most by a left-handed pitcher in MLB history.
All right.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit of strikeouts right there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And left-handed to boot.
Well,
So, yeah.
a lot of good left-handed pitchers.
Yeah, I guess you got to hand it to him.
Sandy Koufax comes to mind, left-handed.
There's someone in my family who's left-handed, has their own personal bowling ball, you know.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
The crazy one who wanted to get us jabbed.
Oh, okay.
The one that you offered to buy the house back that you sold her.
Yeah.
At the same sticker value from back then.
That's a joke.
Here we go. Ooh.
1983 Supreme Court rules retirement plans can't pay women less.
Really despicable that it has to, be relying on the Supreme Court. That should just be natural. Everybody, should get, paid, whether you're male or female, whatever, you should get paid the same.
Of course.
For that job. Like why is it up to the Supreme Court to bring that? That's outsourcing societal, requirements to the government. Stop giving the government so much damn power. Before I go off on a tangent here, let's go on up here to 1984, the loon's favorite sport of all time.
Oh no. Oh no, I know what you're talking about.
1984 New Zealand sisters Liz and Rose Signal become the first twins to play in the same cricket test match versus England at the Headingley,
yeah. All right, so twins.
Cricket.
Yeah. 1987, first of 3 massacres by Sikh extremists took place in India. Yikes. Like, isn't Buddhism like a religion of peace?
Yeah.
Well, no, not Buddhism.
Of purity, really.
No, not
peace.
not Buddhism. Sikh.
Oh.
Sikh.
Or the Zeeks.
Zeeks. That's what's the What's the Indian religion? Hold on a second. Indian religion. What's it called? There's Hinduism. That's the word.
Yeah.
Okay, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Sikhism. Here it is, right here. But aren't those mostly religions of peace?
Yes, of course.
Then why are there massacres? What the hell? That's wild.
Well, I don't know the backstory. I can't tell you.
Yeah. Also in 1987, Pakistan cricket all-rounder Imran Khan reached 300th Test wicket milestone during third Test versus England at Leeds. All right.
All of a sudden it just turns into non-English words. I don't know how that works,
English,
but it's cricket.
It's English, but it's not at the same time.
I know they were English words, but they're put together in a weird order.
Yeah. I think the way I say it is the best. If you read it verbatim and you feel like you have a stroke, don't worry. It's just cricket. You're fine. You don't need to see a doctor. Maybe. 1988, Piper Alpha oil drilling platform explosion killed 167 people in the North Sea, about 190 kilometers or 120 miles northeast of Aberdeen, Scotland. The rig operated by Occidental Petroleum Caledonia. Occidental, yeah. Limited. Once again, 167. So it's the same thing. So, yikes.
Well, you have nowhere to go when you're on those platforms.
Well, you can jump. So.
Like you're going to survive that in the North Sea.
Well, I mean, I'd rather take my chances with the waves and by guaranteed
I'm sure
fire.
most of them did jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one wants to be burned to death.
Yeah, no. I mean, 9/11, anyone? So, yeah. But what do we got here in 1989? Some more baseball.
1989, ex-Phillies third baseman Mike Schmidt becomes the first retired MLB player to be named to start the All-Star game. He elects not to play.
Ah. Yeah. All right.
He was a great third baseman. I remember him well.
Yeah.
Of course, he was the enemy to me.
Why?
He was on the wrong team.
What was the right team?
The Dodgers.
And where did the Dodgers originate?
In enemy territory. They escaped.
You know what?
Oh, is that what they're known for, as being war Dodgers?
Yeah. Well, the Dodgers the Dodgers started in Brooklyn. And Mom was a hard, like she was a fan of the, she lived in Brooklyn. She was a Brooklyn Dodgers fan.
Absolutely diehard.
And then then she moved out here to the West Coast and they followed her. And California has an illustrious career of stealing other country other state sports teams. And actually, there was one, I believe, that I think we're actually going to cover it, that was taken from Canada. Or we've already covered it. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But yeah, no, the Lakers came from Michigan.
Yeah, since
they
have a bunch of lakes out there.
Yeah,
Texas.
That's why they're called the Lakers.
Yeah, and it really disgusts me to say, but the only actual homebred team, to my knowledge, in California, are the Ducks, and they're a Disney creation. No, seriously.
Well, the Los Angeles
Kings,
Angels.
Angels
were born here. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
No.
You mean you mean the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Well, stupid.
What's his name? The cowboy.
John Wayne
bought a new franchise. And that was their birth here. No, not John Wayne.
I know.
I can't think of his name right off the hand. He's an old-time cowboy movie star.
Who
original
owner of the Angels?
Los Angeles.
Right? Gene Autry?
Yes,
okay.
That's it.
All right. What else do we got here? 1990. I think I've seen this.
1990, Jetsons, the movie by Hanna-Barbera with Tiffany Darwish premieres.
Yeah. What was Jane was his wife, right? Jane?
Yeah.
Yeah. Turn off this crazy thing. I'm stuck on the treadmill. Help.
God.
Yeah. There's a weird trope Wilma open this door and Jane turn off this crazy thing. Like both the Flintstones and the Jetsons had this trope about the husband needing help from their wives or something as part of the
Jetsons were born out of from
the Flintstones.
Flintstones.
Were they?
Yeah, the idea,
I think
modern.
The idea was
Yeah.
the same
That's
thing.
where the concept came from.
Now, are you
It
aware
was
of
just switched.
Yeah, are you aware of the theory linking the Jetsons to the Flintstones?
No.
They live at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's a post-apocalyptic. That's why the Jetsons live all the way up there, because all the Earth is irradiated.
Gotcha.
And the Flintstones are living in the irradiated wasteland. That's why they're primitive.
Gotcha.
But
I've heard that
heard
the
that
Flintstones actually takes place after the Jetsons.
Ah.
That's why they have all that technology that they're copying, from the Jetsons.
But
that's left over. But they don't have technology, so they just use animals.
Yeah. But I mean, the Flintstones celebrated Christmas and all that stuff, and how could they if they were a Stone Age family? They're thousands of years before the birth of Christ, maybe tens of thousands.
Of course.
But then how would they know unless they're of the future, post-apocalyptic?
It's called make believe.
Yeah. called theories. But what do we got here in '94? Another,
Oh, yeah, great movie. 1994, Forrest Gump, directed by Zach Zemeckis and starring Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, and Gary Sinise, and released Academy Awards Best Picture 1995. Great flick.
Yeah. I don't know, like I'm on the fence about Forrest Gump because it is beloved, but at the same time, I don't want to sound like a leftist here, but it's
problematic.
I want to use the word cultural appropriation because in the movie it depicts Forrest Gump as the one who taught Elvis Presley about the hip gyrations, when in reality Elvis learned that from the black community.
Well, you can't. Yeah.
They're trying to whitenize black inventions. I'm sorry. I don't want to sound like a leftist, but I don't really like some of the things in Forrest Gump. I especially don't like Jenny. Ugh.
You're not supposed to like Jenny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think they wrote themselves into a corner at some point, and then they're like, let's let them have the girl anyway. Who cares? The movie's over with it now.
And you got to remember when it gets to Elvis Presley and all that, how the adults, the parents, were aghast at his music.
Oh yeah, no,
it
the
was
devil.
Huge. Yeah. So.
Well, look at the world today. I have a feeling.
Music. I don't know about the gyration part. You may be right, but his basic music, came from black communities where he spent time down there.
Yeah.
Playing music with them.
Well, you look back, at those times. You look back at when they were saying, "Oh, rock and roll is the devil" and all that stuff. It'll lead society into ruin. Well, living in 2024 and looking around me, I have a feeling that they might have been right. Like everything's crumbled, and maybe we allowed morals to slip way too far. So anyway,
what music's a reflection.
We're progressive.
Generator.
Yeah, we're progressive, going the wrong way. 1994.
We're progressing, all right.
Yeah, regressing. Actually. 1994 as well. CFL American expansion. Shreveport Pirates lost the game 40-10 at the Ottawa Rough Riders. Fold in 1995. That's painful. 40-10. Yikes.
Yeah, well.
The CFL. Football. That's football. Okay. Yeah.
I remember the CFL.
What does it stand for? Something Football League.
Yeah, I can't remember
County
exactly.
Football League, California. What?
No, it's across the country. CFL
Central Football League.
Let's see here. Canadian football.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm thinking of something else.
You're Canadian. You should know this.
How dare you?
It's fake football.
Does that mean Xander's a Canadian by birth?
No. I'm not related to him by blood, thank God. So, but I was raised by him.
It does have different rules, bigger football field.
Yeah.
Xander doesn't apologize enough.
Yeah, I should have known that. I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of the American Football League. That actually was an upstart from the NFL. And they since combined leagues.
But see, it was interesting that you said that they're fake football because Canada also has fake bacon.
Canadian bacon.
No, it's ham. It's a slice of ham. You maple-loving moose people. Anyway, moving on up to 1995, Venezuelan Congress approved the country's first investment law allowing for foreign participation in oil exploration and production. So they basically just sold out to big oil. Allowed a corporation to come in and start being a mover and shaker. Yikes. Look at Venezuela today, a shithole. So.
They're coming.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't know their history that well.
1996, in a 2-0 win versus the Brewers, New York Yankees closer John Wetteland set MLB record of 20 consecutive saves en route to 24. Mm-hmm. All right.
Do you know what a save is?
No.
Just testing your football knowledge, baseball knowledge.
I don't even know what the line is.
Because a save is the pitcher that comes in at the end of the game and preserves the win.
Okay. So he's saving it.
Yeah.
Kind of like a clutch.
Yeah. In a way. He comes in, pitches the last inning or two.
All right.
And makes sure they keep the win. No more runs, so they win.
Yeah. We got
It's called a closer.
Okay. 1997, Montreal Expos retired Baseball Hall of Fame outfielder Andre Dawson's uniform number 10. All right. And then what do we got here in 1998? You got a couple of them here.
1998, England cricket spin bowler Robert Croft saves England from defeat with a famous unbeaten 37 and 190 minutes on day 5 of second test B versus South Africa and Old Trafford, Manchester. That was a tongue twister there.
Yeah, well, it's cricket. So,
cricket.
But we're talking about saves, so we got to save here. Just in another sport. That makes no sense. So.
1998, Hong Kong's Kai Tai Airport is closed, and the new Hong Kong International Airport at Cheklapkok becomes operational. Nice.
What a name.
Airplane. Yeah, that's a hell of a name.
Cheklapkok.
Don't say it too fast, you might
Yeah.
mix in some words there. 1999, U.S. Army Private Barry Winchell dies from baseball bat injuries inflicted in his sleep the previous day by fellow soldiers for his relationship with transgendered showgirl and former Navy combat medic Calpurnia Adams. Ooh.
Now that's awful. Like, if you don't want to like certain people, fine, but don't go around murdering people for it. That's not right. Like, that ain't cool. I feel really bad for that. Moving on up into the year 2000, real estate developer Stan Kroenke announced the acquisition of the Denver Nuggets, Colorado Avalanche, and the Pepsi Center for $450 million from the Ascent Entertainment Group. That is a big purchase. In Denver, Colorado, I know someone who lives in that general vicinity. 2000 as well.
No.
Says the Fed. 2000, West Ham United Football Club paid a recorded £1.8 million for the late Bobby Moore's collection of memorabilia, 79 items, including his 1966 World Cup winners medal. All right. 2002, Wimbledon women's tennis. Serena Williams defeated older sister Venus 7-6, 6-3 for her first Wimbledon singles title. All right. You go, girl. But what do we got here in 2003?
2003, 70-meter Eupatoria planetary radar sends Metis message cosmic call to 5 stars HIP 4872 HD 245409 55 Cancri HD 10307 and 47 Ursite Majoris that will arrive in 2036, 2040, May 2044, September 2044, and 2049 respectively. Holy cow.
So we just blindly sent out a radio signal out there, in hopes of getting a response. And, I don't think we're going to like the response that we're too loud.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah. Then,
what
was it? Book of reading?
Earth really needs to shut the hell up.
The free body problem, yes.
Yeah. Hey, we got some more tennis here.
2003, Martina Navratilova.
Martina Navratilova.
Claims,
I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
Navratilova claims her 20th all-time Wimbledon title.
Ooh.
As she and Linder Pace beat Andy Ram and Anastasia Boy 6-3 and the mixed doubles finals.
20th all-time title. That is impressive.
That's a bunch.
That's, yeah. You got two 2005s if you want to take those.
2005 IOC awards London the right to host the games of the XXX Olympiade in 2012 with a vote of 54 to 50 over Paris on the fourth and final ballot.
Yep. 30. Olympic Games 30.
Ah, yeah, 30.
Yep.
2005 Live 8 concert at Murrayfield Stadium, Edinburgh, Scotland. Performs include Wet, 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 Annie Lennox, James Brown, and the Coors, and the Proclaimers.
What the hell kind of a name is Wet, Wet, Wet?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, huh. 2006, the Nathula Pass between India and China, sealed during the Sino-Indian War, reopened for trade after 44 years. Wow.
Huh.
I mean, India and China,
Yeah.
Yeah. 2009, Jandra Kosnor became the first female prime minister of Croatia. All right.
Yeah.
Go Croatia. And in 2013, 14 people were killed after a train ran over a rickshaw in Shaikupura, Pakistan. Yikes! You know what a rickshaw is? One of those,
of course.
But getting hit by a train, one of those, like how did you not move out of the way in that thing?
You're not going to do well. You're going to lose to that train every time.
But I mean, but rickshaws are highly mobile. How do you get hit by a train?
I would dump the rickshaw and run like hell.
Well,
screw my passenger.
but what about the fare?
The fare?
The payment. Like, how are you going to collect it if your passengers are dead? Unless they paid beforehand.
Always get the money up front. There you go.
Yeah, you make a good point there. But what do we got here? We got... actually, I'm going to take these other 2013s. 2013, 42 people were killed and 5 were missing after a freight train carrying crude oil rolled unmanned for 12 kilometers before derailing at Lac Mégantic, Quebec, igniting fires and explosions. So a tanker car just went off on its own little adventure. Like, that is scary.
Not good.
And also, while that was going on, British and Irish Lions rugby union team thrashed Australia 41-16. Ouch. In Sydney for a 2-1 series win, their first against the Wallabies since 1997.
I gotta take off, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you for joining. Have a
See
good
you
one,
later.
Sir Predictable.
Peace.
Yep. What do we got here in 2015?
2015, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is stripped of his WBO welterweight boxing title after failing to pay $200K sanctioning fee and vacate his second junior middleweight titles.
His 2 junior middleweight titles.
Ooh.
Yeah, so they wanted him to surrender titles and pay them, or else.
Yeah.
And he told them to go eat their hats.
I don't blame him.
And, well, what did he do though?
I don't know, but you're asking him to pay $200,000.
Well, I mean, like.
I don't know. Again, don't know the backstory to that. So whether he's
this-
guilty or not or
this
whatever.
seems-
But yeah,
This seems
ponying
really
up
petty.
$200,000. That's a lot of money.
But I mean, this seems really petty. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, here we go. 2016. Oh, you got 3 of them.
2016 Gillette report, UK's Iraqi war inquiry release concludes Tony Blair overstated case for war and was unprepared. Imagine that.
So he's a warmonger.
Oh,
All right. Oh.
yeah, no one went to jail for that 20-year war.
What a
did they?
surprise.
Wow.
Yeah.
2016 Pokemon Go, the real-world mobile game by Niantic, is first released.
I played Pokemon Go for a while. Did you, King?
I feel like it did. And I was like, this is dumb.
I mean, like, you don't seem
No
like...
principle. It's just, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say dumb. It's just not my,
Yeah.
it's not my
Well,
forte,
it is
guys,
dumb, but
really.
but you don't seem like a very mobile person, so I don't think it would have been for you.
Well, even if it was, I've never been into regular, Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Except for Power World, which
we're going to start, by the way. Anybody watching this, we're going to be streaming, both King and I, on our own respective YouTube channels and stuff. I'm aiming to get that started up and going later on today. We're going to play some Power World and stream it. And
nice.
I don't know anything other than...
Have you ever played it before?
For about like 30 seconds. And I learned that you can climb up walls. So, yeah.
You get me to climb up the walls many times.
Well, yeah. But we have one more 2016.
2016 South Africa athlete Oscar Pistorius is sentenced to 6 years in jail for the murder of his girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp, in 2013.
Wow.
Boy, that seems pretty light for
Talk
murder.
about a slap on the wrist. You took a life and you get 6 years?
Yeah, that's what I see. It sounds really light.
You should have life in prison in the very least, if not execution. And I would go for execution because why the hell...
They're calling it murder, not...
Oh, hell, what's life anymore? Especially in the United States.
You know, if it's an accident, they call it manslaughter.
Yeah.
But they're calling that murder.
Straight up murder.
6 years, jeez.
Well, because he's an athlete, so he, rules for thee, not for thee. Celebrities are above the law somehow, magically. So... 2017, France announced it will ban petrol and diesel cars by 2040. Yeah, good luck. I'm pretty sure they're backpedaling on that right now. So, we also have Illinois State Senate voted to override Governor Bruce Rauner's veto to approve first budget in more than 2 years, longest lasting such dispute of any state. I don't know any semantics involving that, but
yeah,
like something's going on politically. There's a jarble. And we also have a Sri Lankan government confirmed outbreak of dengue fever had killed at least 227. Whoa. What is dengue fever? It doesn't sound good at all.
Anything with fever is bad.
Well, like a normal fever.
Is that the one where you bleed from your eyes or no?
Ooh,
I'm thinking
that sounds worse.
Ebola.
That sounds horrifying. It is a mosquito-borne disease caused by the dengue virus. Prevalent in tropical and subtropical area, it frequently is asymptomatic. If symptoms appear, they typically between 3 to 14 days after infection. These may include a high fever, headache, vomiting, muscle and joint pains, and a characteristic skin itching and skin rash. Yada yada. It has 4 confirmed symptoms. Infection with one type usually gives lifelong immunity to that type, but only short-term immunity to others. Subsequent infection with a different type increases the risk of severe complications. The symptoms of dengue resemble many other diseases, including malaria, influenza, and Zika. Blood tests are available to confirm the diagnosis, including detecting viral RNA or antibiotics of the virus. But I don't know what...
No bleeding in the eyes, that's good.
Signs and symptoms. Okay, so I'm not seeing any bleeding of the eyes, but...
okay, well, we know what it is.
I don't want to bleed from the eyes.
No.
So, sounds horrifying. 2018...
That's Ebola I was thinking of, sorry.
Okay. Yikes. Yeah, Ebola, 2018, floods and landslides began in southwestern Japan, killing at least 200 people with more missing. Evacuation orders for nearly 2 million. How do you evacuate 2 million people? What the...
Slowly.
Wow. Yeah. 2018 as well, Prime Minister Carlos Agosto do Rosario of Mozambique sacked the board of LAM Airlines after he is left stranded when the plane runs out of fuel. Uh-oh. They left the boss stranded. That's not good.
No.
Oh. But here we go. We got some fights. 2019. King.
2019, George Masvidal, 34-13, sets a UFC record by needing just 5 seconds to KO Ben Askren, 19-1, 1NC during their welterweight bout at UFC 239 in Las Vegas, Nevada.
So we knocked him out in 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're down. That is a short fight.
Yep.
That's
yeah, it's kind of why I stopped watching UFC.
The fight lasted for 2 punches when I hit you and you hit the floor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'd like to see this play out in your fantasy. Yeah, I think the turns of tables now. Oh, now we get to talk about the Loon's unintentional favorite basketball team here.
2019 LA Clippers acquired 2 NBA megastars in one day. Finals MVP Kawhi Leonard from Toronto in free agency and Paul George from OKC, and for an unprecedented trade bounty of players and picks.
All right, I wonder what the bounty was, but
Paul George is just leaving the Clippers this year. Leonard's still there.
Now, do you want to tell a story about how you unintentionally became a Clippers fan?
No, it's not.
No, come on, it's funny.
It's not, There's no fun. What's funny?
Well, it's because like you used to watch the Lakers. Like,
I was a diehard Laker fan.
Yeah.
And they finally put everything on
HBO,
pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view, and I said, screw this. I got really mad at them. I said, okay, I'm going to start following the Clippers. It's not funny, but...
Well, no. What's funny is that, like, you realize this when you're sitting there and you're rooting for the Clippers and they were against the Lakers.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, a year or so later,
Hold
I go,
on a second.
Now I'm rooting against the... Yeah, that was a...
Yeah.
Eye-popping moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the funny part right there.
Okay. Yeah.
You switched sides unintentionally.
No, I did.
Yeah.
Very intentionally. I went by the out of sight, out of mind.
So does this make you an
Italian?
Italian?
If I can't watch them, I'm not following you.
Well, this should...
You're going to make me pay for it.
Well, switching sides is very Italian. You should get along with your brother's family very well.
And I do.
Well, yeah. Anyway, moving on up, you got one more 2019, and then I'll take the 20s. A couple of them. Oh, he's muted. 2019, we have the Super Rugby Final in Christchurch. Canterbury Crusaders won their 10th title with a 19-3 win over Argentina's Jaguars. That is one-sided right there. Moving on up into 2020, just 4 years ago, United States officially began withdrawing from the World Health Organization. Hell yes.
Yeah.
Where's a cheer for that? Let's get the hell out of that thing. Screw the WHO. Screw them. Freaking Chinese pockets, 2020, the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes agreed to the largest contract for an athlete in sports history, inking a 12-year deal that could end up being worth $503 million.
Good grief.
Over $500 million.
Go Chiefs.
Yeah. King here is a Chiefs fan.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, at risk of saying a naughty word, another former friend of mine, we call him Rhombusser, referred to the Kansas City Chiefs as the Queefs.
The NFL has crapped on us for years. Now we're on this winning streak, and all of a sudden, ooh, football's fake. Brr.
Yeah.
I've suffered to the Chiefs many times being a Charger fan, trust me.
Oh, yeah.
But
Likewise.
but you know what? Here's something we can all agree on. The Raiders suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Screw the Raiders.
Well, here you go. I used to be a giant Rams fan, and then they ditched us. They moved out of town, so I said, screw that. So I became a San Diego Chargers fan. And then they ended up moving up here. The Rams have moved back, but I never forget.
Yeah.
I never forget.
You never forgive either.
Or forgive, yeah.
2020
Oakland,
as well.
LA, Oakland, LA, Oakland, LA.
Oh,
yeah. Make up your mind. 2020, zoonotic diseases which jump from animals to humans are increasing due to unsustainable farming and climate change, according to a new report by the UN. Oh, there we go. Buzzword: climate change. Oh, climate change. Yeah. But what do we got here? Some Canadian history, 2021.
I'm coming.
Okay.
What?
You muted your mic. While you're getting situated. Oh.
Okay. Alright. 2021. Barry Simon is named Canada's first Indigenous Governor General by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Boo.
Yeah, well, I can't boo this action. I mean, like, he actually did something good for once.
Oh, I'm talking about Trudeau. I
Trudeau
don't know
sucks.
who Mary is.
Yeah, Trudeau sucks. But
well,
this is...
Here's what I'll say to that. I am really glad it happened.
Yes.
I just hope he was the best for the job, and there was no other reason for it.
Yes.
That's what I hope. I mean, I cheer that it happened, but let's hope he was the best for the job, because that should be the criteria.
You do make a good point. We are talking about Trudeau, and 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So could have been an affirmative action hire, but, hey, let the indigenous govern themselves. What a concept, So, anyway, oh wow, this is pretty big here, 2022.
2022 dramatic day in British politics has more than 40 government ministers and aides withdraw their support from Prime Minister Boris Johnson and resign. A 24-hour record.
Yeah, that guy was a piece of crap.
Yeah, he was.
Boris Johnson.
Yeah.
So. And there's 3 articles left. Why don't you take them, and then I'll close this out here.
2022 dramatic day in British politics. Oh, wait. I read that one. Sorry. 2022 first ever joint appearance by M15 head Ken McCollum and the FBI Director Christopher A. Wray warning China is the biggest long-term threat to our economic and national security.
Yes, they are.
They make everything. They're the world's most biggest threat. I would. Yeah.
Well, it's not just that they're the world's manufacturing depot. They use it from slave labor. Child slave labor.
Not all of it, but they
not
do.
all of it, but dude, there's freaking there's 4-year-olds making your Nikes.
Well,
Yeah.
the good
Don't
news
forget
is
about
that
the
world
suicide net.
corporations are going out of there like crazy.
Yeah, good. And as King just said, don't forget about the suicide nets. And they did that just for PR. They don't care about people killing themselves, but the people buying their products do. So, let's do some PR and put up the suicide. Can you imagine working in an area that has nets? That if the working conditions are so appalling that you just want to end it, and you can't. That is
not
hell.
That the working conditions are so appalling. Not anymore.
Well, of course,
it's
yeah,
just
they
the
are.
pressure they put on these employees to produce and the hours they have to work. They have to leave their families and go to central locations.
And the conditions are appalling too. We think what's happening at Amazon is awful. It's nothing compared to what's going on in China.
The working conditions are not, because they're really modernized, really efficient.
Yeah, they're modernized and efficient, but they don't give them bathroom breaks. The environment is dirty. The pollution is high. They don't have any regulations. There's no such thing as any concept of OSHA. Occupational, stuff.
I know OSHA is very well.
I know you know. I'm saying it for the viewers. So, but yeah, just stop buying from China. Actually, if you're watching right now, shopping, go to chinanever.com. And you can find all these things, and these are all things either made in the United States or Canada. Like for example, let's click on mid shoes. So we have made in the USA, made in Canada, made in EU. If you want to make your dollar talk, do not buy in China, from China. Right here, New Balance. Most shoes are made in China. USA ones made below. So. Whatever, so be careful when buying from New Balance.
Stop your free commercial here.
It's not a commercial. I'm just saying, if you want to make the world better, I'm providing a way to do so.
Fair enough.
So,
hey, there's Bill Haley.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about him here in a second. We have 2 more articles here. Good Sir King.
2022 Morocco Morabito, Italian's second most wanted and one of the world's most powerful drug brokers, extradited from Brazil to Italy after being on the run for 28 years.
Wow. Incredible. Reminds me of a story we were watching. I'm not sure if I was watching it or if we both watched it together, King, about a video where some Italian mob boss or something faked his death and got a new identity and was working in some restaurant out in Spain, and just so happened that the Google car, photographed in the States. Yeah, so we did watch this together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they found him through Google or
Google Maps.
Yeah. Kind of like
happened to be driving by that particular day.
Yeah, while he just so happened to be outside, and then they investigated it more. They went to the website, and then they found him. He had the same scar on the side of his face and everything. Like, they found, like some mob boss or something, trying to, live out,
hide.
Yeah, trying to hide.
Yeah.
And very much like a scene out of that movie, The Circle, when they were tracking, that criminal. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And here we go. Last but not least, certainly not least, Louis Armstrong. Take us away.
2023, Louis Armstrong House Museum opens new archive facility, the Louis Armstrong Center in Queens, New York City.
We got to go visit that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar in the description below for any links you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. We are not just here on YouTube and Rumble, we're also on BitChute and Odyssey and various other places. Check out our link tree down there and all that stuff. For your dose of past events daily, we stream almost every day. Or actually, we stream every day. I gotta take the almost out. We stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific time, which is 12 noon Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Standard Time, respectively. We do have other shows. We have the Omni Coalition News Show, TOCNS, Weird on Unusual Notable Events, Weather, and Sports, every Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Yesterday, we had a really good news show yesterday.
Yeah.
We have the Omni Coalition Show, Talk Show. It is a talk show coming up this Monday at 3. We have a couple articles of discussion lined up for that, and I'm going to be working more on that and all that stuff. We have the Omni Kitchen. We will be getting on that after the summer break, so it won't be as hot in the kitchen. And of course, Einosh, enter name of show here. Reacting, reviewing movies, and all that stuff. Anyway, if you want to watch us live, if you're on the West Coast, it's 11 and 3 all for the Mountain, 12 and 4. Watch us for more. Central 1 and 5 for the Contrive, and East 2 and 6 for your fix. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
King's Refuge.
Golden Loon.
And Ghostery.
Ghost.
There she is. And of course, you viewer are you. Thank you very much for watching. And until you catch us next time, whenever it is, wherever it is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!